serious issue with infiltration in Assam. There's a very serious issue with particularly, and I'll say it as clearly as possible, with Bangladeshi Muslim infiltration in Assam. And as a result of that, I have repeatedly been saying the entire demography of the state has changed. Now, in the northeastern part of the country, the most significant, largest state in terms of land area is Assam. And if the entire demography of Assam changes, obviously it has a big impact on socio-political stability in the entire northeast. Viewers, today my question is, you see these people here, and these people are people like Prashant Bhushan, these people are people like Syeda, Hameed. They, I can tell you confidently, know absolutely nothing in terms of detail or lived experience about the situation in Assam. But for far too long in India, we have had a trend. And that trend is that there are people who say, we represent the people, we will fly down from Delhi, and we will say that we'll take a position on Assam. Now, Syeda Hameed yesterday said, Bangladeshi bhi to insan hai, let them live in Assam. Syeda Hameed, if you take such a pro-Bangladeshi position, then why don't you leave your home in Delhi, leave your entire Lutean circuit, and why don't you and all the people from your Lutean circuit give up your homes and tell the Bangladeshis to live in your homes? And when these people say they have a name for it. They call themselves People's Tribunal on Assam, Eviction, Detention and the Right to Belong. This is the name they have given. They've called themselves a People's Tribunal, ladies and gentlemen. My point is, who gives these people the right to represent the people of Assam or the people of India? Who gives Syeda Hameed the right to say that she represents the people of India? I am from Assam. My family is from Assam, but even I wouldn't say that I single-handedly represent all the people of Assam. But these people, these usual suspects, Jawahar Sarkar, former MP of the Trinamool Congress, earlier with Mamta Banerjee, Wajahat Habibullah, slightly out of favor, out of reckoning, former CIC, Syeda Hameed, who was part of the Congress party circuit, Harsh Mandar, completely biased and prejudiced activist, Prashant Bhushan, who I call one of India's best-known trolls, who says he's an advocate of the Supreme Court. All these people, and some person called Fawaz Shaheen, these people, along with 3 others, go to Assam and they say there is no problem that these people need to be evicted for. And, what Himanta Biswa Sarma is doing by removing the infiltrators and removing the people who are being evicted right now is wrong. Now, these people give themselves name. They call themselves the People's Tribunal. It is a tactic. You name your organization and association in such a way that it looks like you are genuine representatives of the people, whereas the fact is you are exactly the opposite. I'll give you some examples. Popular Front of India. How was it the Popular Front of India? Was it not effectively a terrorist group? Another name I'll give you, People's Vigilance Commission on Human Rights. What gives them the right to use the word People's Vigilance Commission? 2 groups associated with separatism in Kashmir, J&K People's Movement, Democratic Political Movement. They project themselves as unbiased and non-aligned. Are they truly non-aligned? Wajahat Habibullah, who is part of this group today, on the Ram Mandir verdict, he had said the verdict is flawed. So I can call him anti-Hindu. Therefore, I would say that Wajahat Habibullah, being anti-Hindu, has a vested interest in the Hindu population in Assam going down. I can draw that inference. Nadeem Khan, National Secretary of the Association for Protection of Civil Rights, was booked by the Delhi police for quote-unquote hatching a criminal conspiracy. Prashant Bhushan has contempt for nationalists. He says honoring murderers, rapists, terrorists, that is our Hindu Rashtra Brigade. He hates Hinduism. He hates the word nationalist. Therefore, I'm asking tonight, who are these people after all? Who are these people? These are the usual suspects. These are the people who will turn up questioning the abrogation of Article 70. They will ask for sabut on surgical strikes on Pakistan. They will cry foul about India's democracy. They will say you should not believe the EVMs. These are the usual suspects, the elite group of Delhi people sitting in their ivory chairs, self-appointed people. Self-appointed people who have now taken a pro-infiltrator stance. And if they are the real representatives of the people, I want to know where are the SMEs in this so-called representative group? How many Hindu SMEs are there? Because the Hindu SMEs feels threatened. Why is there no Hindu SMEs in their group? What is the proportion of Hindu SMEs in this group? If you're representing people, are they not representing the locals? Are locals not people? Or is it only Bangladeshis who they want to support? Ladies and gentlemen, this Khan Market group, this Lutyens brigade, has to be exposed. Because it is not the demography of a state which is at stake. It is our sovereignty which will eventually be at stake. This is what happened. Then we'll debate.
अच्छा, बांग्लादेशी बोलने में क्या गुनाह है? अरे भाई, बांग्लादेशी भी तो इंसान है। अरे दुनिया इतनी बड़ी है, बांग्लादेशी भी यहाँ हो सकते, किसी का राइट डिप्राइव तो नहीं कर रहे। Bangladeshi, it's become a curse word now. It's become a horrendous word now. अगर आ भी गए हैं कुछ बांग्लादेशी, okay, so sit down with them, negotiate with them and escort them back.
The backers of Bangladeshi infiltrators greeted with slogans and placards in the heart of Delhi.
हमारी डिमांड है प्रसाद भूषण और सैयदा हमीद जब बांग्लादेश को रोहिंग्याओं को बसाने की बात कर रहे हैं। यह देश भारतीय लोगों का है, भारतीय मुसलमानों का है, भारतीय हिंदुओं का है, ना कि बांग्लादेशियों का है।
When confronted, they had nothing to say in their defense for Bangladeshis living illegally in India.
It's a normal question. What would be your say? And don't you think that this will be the rights of Indians will be deprived?
Why are you pressing the mic on my hand?
Ma'am, what would be your comment?
Your mother, okay? I'm like your mother. Don't do it. I'm like your mother, okay? Don't do it, okay?
I'm just asking the questions as to what you have to say.
I will talk in the press conference.
Sir, but then please understand one.
Arnab Goswami is a pathetic toady of this government. I don't talk.
Sir, just once, please answer. Sir, why are you supporting illegal infiltration? Sir.
The rhetorics of Osinachi people means.
If the government is convinced that X is an illegal immigrant, there's a process. You collect the evidence, establish that the person is a foreigner, you deal with the other government, and you hand over that person.
From New Delhi to Assam, the message is clear. There is no place for infiltrators in India.
घुसपैठियों की बढ़ती संख्या चिंता का विषय है। बिहार के सीमावर्ती जिलों में तेजी से डेमोग्राफी बदल रही है। इस खतरे से निपटने के लिए मैंने डेमोग्राफी मिशन शुरू करने की बात कही है। बहुत जल्द ये मिशन अपना काम शुरू करेगा। हम हर घुसपैठियों को देश से बाहर करके ही रहेंगे। देश के भीतर बैठे घुसपैठियों के समर्थकों से भी सावधान रहिए। जान जाइए कौन घुसपैठियों के साथ खड़ा है। कांग्रेस और आरजेडी जैसे दल बिहार के लोगों का हक छीनकर घुसपैठियों को देना चाहते हैं।
The sympathizers of these infiltrators can hide no more. The message is clear. The real vote chori and veiled backing of illegal Bangladeshis has to stop.
first question, who are these people? Where do they come from? Why is there no Assamese in the group? Not one Assamese. And not one Assamese Hindu. These people will sit in Constitution Club, have lunch in Khan Market and say we represent the people of Assam. Can you imagine this, Karan? Can you imagine? It's unreal, man, Karan. Unreal. People's Tribunal in Assam. Where people? Which people?
Arnab, these are the
Who appointed them?
Who were a part of the NSC. You remember the National Advisory Council?
Yeah, all Congi group.
Manmohan Singh, Harsh Mandir. These people were busy writing mercy petitions for Afzal Guru and Ajmal Kasab, you would remember. At the same time, they would oppose CAA.
Yeah.
Talk about humanity. Their humanity took a backseat when we spoke about CAA, which was giving citizenship to the persecuted Hindus, Sikhs, Parsis, who were already there, by the way. And now these people, they were the ones who drafted the communal violence bill, who opposed the Sardar Sarovar Dam's height being raised, who opposed infrastructure, critical infrastructure. These are the same people, Arnab, this virtue signaling band of hypocrites, the bluff that you've called out loud. And then they camouflage as those humanists, masquerade as them. Inke bhi to arman hote hain.
One of the people sitting there is G.K. Pillai. Now, G.K. Pillai was Home Secretary when Chidambaram was Home Minister.
Yeah.
What did he do? Now he's sitting there. He's been a failure as the Home Secretary. How much infiltration did he stop? Did he tell Mr. Chidambaram, I will resign as Home Secretary if you don't act on this issue? Nothing. He was quiet then. Now, retired many years back, he wants to sit there and tell you people that I'm going to talk about infiltration in Assam. What does he know? Now, see, we are going to have to throw out the infiltrators, Harish, Muhammad, Ibrahim and Arko. We are going to throw them out and we are going to throw them out really fast and very clearly and very brutally. That's the only way to do it. And by the way, it's happening in Assam, it's going to happen in Bengal. All the infiltrators you have brought will be picked up, identified and thrown out. Arko, these people, they have said they've given a field report. They are pro-infiltration. Why should anyone listen to them, Marco? These are the same people who go to the Supreme Court to help Waqf. These are the same people who go to Pakistan and speak against the government of India after the abrogation of 370. They go to Pakistan, Arko. They go to Pakistan. You will support them here now.
I would be very clear. Infiltrations of any kind from any country to our country for any religion is not acceptable.
I don't keep saying any. What is it? Come to the point, no. Why are you giving so many riders? You're not confident?
No, I am not confident because you just now accused somebody for going against the Waqf in the Supreme Court. It is his right. If he feels that the government is wrong in...
Yeah. Did I say it's not his right? He doesn't exercise the same right. He doesn't exercise the same right when Assamese can't speak. As Assamese can't speak Assamese in Assam. Tomorrow, Orko, somebody tells you don't speak Bengali in Kolkata. Will you accept it? Suppose I say to you, you can't speak Bengali in Bengal.
Given the right,
will you accept it?
To Supreme Court. No, we cannot speak Bengali in any other part where BJP is in state government.
No. Don't create this hysteria. There's nothing like that. Nothing like that. Nothing like that.
A lot of cases are being filed.
Nothing like that.
Absolutely. Bengalis are unsafe.
I live in Uttar Pradesh and NCR. I speak Bangla every day. Nobody's arrested me. Don't lie to the people. Don't be a liar.
Arnab, nowadays the criminal law with arrest, we refer to the Arnab Goswami case. So let us not talk about your arrest because...
Yeah, you're fine. You people arrested me and now use my case. Where you were told that you were cheats to arrest me. There was no argument.
We did not arrest you.
Anyway, your government files one case against Republic every week. Republic Bangla every week in Bengal to keep yourself occupied.
I am repeating...
Harish, Muhammad, Ibrahim.
Repeating once again, infiltrations are not to be entertained, but at the same point of time, religious persecutions cannot be allowed.
Infiltrators are infiltrators. Now, Harish, this lady, Syeda Hameed, who knows nothing about Assam, nothing about the country, she knows nothing, I'm sure. She says, they have a right to live. And then another person, Harsh Mandar, says if there's a problem, have a negotiation. How do you negotiate with infiltrators? Can you tell me, how does one negotiate? Suppose Karan is an infiltrator.
Why don't India
Suppose
declare
Karan is
that
an
we are
infiltrator. How would you start a negotiation with him?
country?
How do you go to an infiltrator and negotiate?
If necessary, India can declare that
How does-
refugees will have no rights in India.
Yeah,
or
and
we will
infiltrators have no rights.
persecute refugees.
It doesn't have to declare.
irrespective
No,
of
this cannot be a
anything.
One minute.
moral of
Harish,
opposition.
how does one...
The government can always go up in the United Nations and say this.
How does one negotiate with an infiltrator?
I'm sure the government will go and say that we are not going to tolerate any rights for the refugees.
And refugees have no rights. Infiltrators have no rights. They're criminals, by definition.
No, infiltrators and refugees, you discriminate, you change, you declare it as a law. And let that be in the United Nations.
Yeah,
But
please
stopping
come in.
the government.
No, let me get Harish in. Harish, how do you negotiate with an infiltrator?
Enough majority.
How do you negotiate with an infiltrator?
Yes, give me a second. Rest of us, please be mute. Arnab, there is always, when democratic countries like India, we have right from 1971 Liberation War, we have hosted all kind of infiltrators from across the borders. And for the matter, West Bengal, Tripura and Assam holds almost 4,000 kilometers.
Just one question, Harish, to you. Harish, I have one question to you.
Let me answer.
Just one question only to you. One question only to you, which will make this discussion very real. My question to you is,
And you have to
my question to you is, suppose Tamil Nadu. Suppose Tamil Nadu had a border with Bangladesh. Okay. And so many Muslim infiltrators came into Tamil Nadu that one day you found, listen to me, Harish, one day you found that Tamil Nadu became a Muslim majority state. Because of infiltration, Tamil Nadu became a Muslim majority state.
Tamilians don't see anything like you as an Islamophobia lens.
I'm not Islamophobic. I'm saying, would there be a demographic impact?
Your narrative is an Islamophobia.
No, I'm saying, would there be an impact of infiltrators? I'm not against the organic growth of population. I'm not against the organic growth of population. Hindu population, Muslim population should all be controlled in my view. But my question to you, Harish, you're getting uncomfortable with the question.
Be silent, let me answer you.
You're getting uncomfortable with the question. My question is, why don't you listen to the question again? Listen to it once more. Listen to it once more and I'll explain myself. Not related only to Tamil. Suppose I say Gujarat. Suppose the population of Gujarat, suppose there was so much Bangladeshi infiltration to Gujarat that one day you woke up and you found that you can't speak Gujarati in Gujarat and Gujarat is more than 50% Muslim majority. What would happen to the demography and stability of Gujarat because of the infiltration?
I clearly got your query.
This is what has happened in Assam, Harish.
Okay, you can.
This is what has happened. You may not believe it, but this is precisely what has happened.
Oh God, you are asking a query.
The BJP wants to come into the debate.
No,
the BJP.
After Harish, I'll bring you in. I'll let Harish reply once and I'll bring you in.
Give me a second. There has been any kind of infiltration for that matter which harms the internal security has to be dealt with. There is no second doubt about it. And number two, as a part of United Nations Human Resource UNHRC, we have to make sure that India being abided with all kind of humanitarian complications, humanitarian implementations, which has to be done across the borders, whether it is sharing with Assam or even for that matter, in Tamil Nadu host almost all kind of refugees from Sri Lankans. But what kind of treatment which has been given? We are not saying that infiltrated has to be treated with garlands. But the infiltrated has to be treated with humanitarian process.
Humanity?
You see that? One minute.
Humanity? You've taken over a state. You're destroying the stability of the state. Humanity?
Give me a second.
You want to go to an infiltrator and say, sir, please, kindly, please, come to my house, have dinner and go back to Bangladesh.
Tamil Nadu hosts almost 90,000 infiltrators from Sri Lanka and everyone has been treated
What's the use of having this debate?
Okay.
These all kind of
shout when you say Sanju Verma, you're shouting.
Okay, Sanju.
Okay, if Sanju is coming, then we all can go on mute. Let her finish and keep the show for her in her hands for almost 90 minutes.
God.
And she never speaks with purpose. With all kind of diarrhea, she's going to spew venom. Okay, go ahead.
Please keep quiet. I did not get personal with you, so shut up. Stop being abusive. Stop being abusive. Stop being abusive.
Nothing but a diarrhea.
Idiotic fellow.
But a diarrhea. Go ahead.
You are a moron. Shut up. Shut up, you moron.
Arnab,
can I please
You are a buffoon.
अरे भाई
You
साहब
are a
शांत हो
buffoon
जाओ,
who
शांत हो
speak
जाओ.
only venom and
Yes,
diarrhea.
yes, fine.
I have seen your previous show and was laughing.
अरे
all
भाई
over.
साहब शांत हो जाओ.
You are just
अरे
a
भाई साहब
diarrhea
don't
from
prove to the
BJP,
world you're a
first person
moron.
in the name.
Arnab, this is what
Go
you
ahead,
do
go
every
ahead.
time.
Okay,
I
guys,
don't
can,
really want
can,
to
can we
win.
stop
You're
this
talking.
moron
Go
buffoon
ahead.
business? I don't
Go
like
ahead.
it. I don't like
Go
it.
ahead.
I don't like it. It's not appreciated. Please continue.
Go ahead, spew your venom. Come
No,
on.
because when he was talking, I was quiet. You do
Yeah,
this
but
every day.
I told him
You do
no
not-
buffoon, no moron, both
You
sides.
like
Please
this
cease
drama.
that.
Why do you get this moron? This
Again you're saying
on
moron.
your show.
Why are you getting this buffoon, third-rated buffoon
You're a
who knows
moron.
only
Chalo.
diarrhea?
Yes, you're an
You know
ignorant
only,
moron.
only
Shant
to
ho jao.
spew venom and
Arnab,
diarrhea.
now can I please
You
come
are
in?
a clown. You are
Arnab,
a
can I
clown.
please come in? I did not heckle this man.
Now, Harish.
BJP has wonderful
Arey,
spokesperson.
Islamist
BJP
moron,
has
shut
wonderful
up.
Harish, you can stop at that point, please. And Sanju, no Islamist, no moron, no buffoon. Thank you. Please.
Yeah.
No, Harish, please
BJP
stop.
has wonderful
started.
spokesperson. Why are they are
Yes.
sending like
Yes.
such a kind of buffoon?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I don't need your certificate. Shut up now. I listen
Entire
to you.
India
You make
knows.
it personal. If you make it personal, I will give it back to you in the language that you want.
Move on, yeah, move on.
You Islamist moron.
Now, no moron, no nothing, no buffoon, please.
You are a Sangi
Okay,
buffoon.
Arnab, let's get one thing. Arnab,
Harish,
you know,
please.
Not. Why have
Harish,
you
please.
got that on
Harish,
screen?
you also don't. Stop it, Harish.
Okay.
When he was
Carry on.
talking,
Speak
when
with
this moron
purpose.
was talking, I was quiet. Islamist moron, shut up.
Sir, please be quiet.
Yes,
You
now let me
Sangi
speak.
buffoon. You Sangi buffoon. Diarrhea.
Now let me
You
speak.
stop first.
Yes, let me speak. अरे वो भाई साहब जाकर अपना जरा चेहरा देखिए लंगूर की तरह दिख रहे हैं आप
Please do not make any comments which are below the belt and personal. I do not appreciate it. We'll have to ask both sides. Harish, you
Such
also
a
stop.
classless women.
Nobody makes any references which are regrettable, and I personally dissociate from personal references made on this program. I'll edit it to the best of my capacity. It's a live program, however. Please continue. Calm down.
no because
Yeah, go to the subject.
spoke for 10 minutes I was quiet. You do this deliberately. The moment they start speaking, you get the other side. You do this Sanju versus this, and then you sit back and you enjoy. I can see through your narrative or not. Now, please let me speak. Otherwise,
I am to be blamed for all this. This is ridiculous. I'm trying to control it.
Yeah. Can I now? Thank you. The limited point is this. Himanta Biswa Sarma, the Assam Chief Minister, has said that the rate of growth of Muslim population in Assam is 34%. The rate of growth of Hindu population is not even 10%. And he cited statistics that in 2001, the Muslim population in Assam was 24 lakh people. In 2011, the Muslim population had risen to 1.29 crore people. Now, between 2001 and 2016, for 15 years, who was in power in Assam? It was a man called Tarun Gogoi, the father of Gaurav Gogoi, who was the chief minister of Assam. So I want to ask, if population in 10 years during Gogoi's tenure rose from 24 lakh to 1.29 crore, that could not have been organic growth.
Arko.
It happened, as Himanta Biswa says, due to inorganic growth, due to Bangladeshi Ghuspetiya,
Arko, respond.
Rohingyas, and why should Rohingyas be given protection and shelter at the cost of Indian taxpayers? Why should Bangladeshi Ghuspetiyas be given shelter, protection at the...
Come on, answer, Arko. Why are you quiet? Because you don't have a reply. Because you've done worse in Bengal. And you know what? You came to power saying that you would stop this in Bengal. You worsened it. Arko, come on now.
Want to...
Mamata Banerjee
Now,
cried
the
in
point
Parliament
is,
about
I
infiltration. She
absolutely
cried
agree
at one
with-
time. Now she supports it.
Let me answer. Everybody has understood. Yes, I am absolutely in agreement with Sanju Verma so far as the using of the state's fund for maintaining the infiltrators are concerned. It is absolutely horrendous, cannot be accepted. But why and how they are entering the borders, why the BSF and the Home Ministry is failing is something the Parliament and the country needs to know.
Yeah, and you have no
any day the Home
responsibility in
Minister
allowing them
comes
brain
out
and
with
telling them that I will help you get into the electoral roles. If Bangladeshi, I will help you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's been a really hot debate. But when I come back, a hotter debate. Why we say hashtag ahead of the tariffs. Bring it on, Trump. Bring it on.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Sarah, this is your space, play it your way. थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा।
I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky, and this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar, and I'm here to tell you that also gives me the license to guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IIHM.
Join International Institute of Hotel Management.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा। Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
In another world, an element is born. Introducing the Phantom Black Edition by Grand Vitara.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar, and I'm here to tell you that also gives me the license to guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IIHM.
Join International Institute of Hotel Management.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
But we stopped a lot of wars, including, you think about it, India and Pakistan, which was probably...
Namaste, my name is Amish Tripathi. I support this initiative by Republic TV, Republic for Sports, our sports. India needs to grab many more medals at the Olympics, Asiads and all the games. We are performing well, we are growing well in every sector, in the economy, in trade, in culture. Why can't we grow in sports as well? It's fantastic that Republic TV is doing and driving this initiative. I request all of you to join this as well.
नमस्ते, मैं हूँ स्वाति मिश्रा। रिपब्लिक ने आर फॉर स्पोर्ट्स नाम से एक नई मुहिम शुरू की है, जिसमें आपका साथ, आपका सहयोग, आपका सपोर्ट चाहिए। तो आइए इससे जुड़िए और इसको अपना साथ और प्यार दीजिए।
My name is Hameed, based in Bangalore, and have been coaching for 40 plus years now. The highest performers in Indian swimming in the last 20 odd years have been from my stable, basically Sandeep Sejwal and Veer Dhaval Khade, and who won Asian Games medals. In addition to that, we have a number of swimmers who are coming up and Olympians as well, such as the Dinidhi Desingu at the last Olympics in Paris, and Sri Hari Nataraj as well. And swimming being, other than athletics, has the most amount of medals with 37 medals currently available, and that will move by the 2028 Olympics to 41 medals. So yeah, so things are coming along quite well in terms of swimming. We have a number of events to cover.
Trump rants, India roars back.
देश के लघु उद्यमी हो, किसान हो, पशुपालक हो, हर किसी के लिए मैं आपको बार बार वादा करता हूं, मोदी के लिए आपके हित सर्वोपरि है.
From trade to tariffs, India won't budge on Nation First. Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
नमस्ते, मैं हूँ स्वाति मिश्रा.
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate. Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to start by saying that the best thing for India are these so-called Trump tariffs. And they're going to be implemented in the next few days, and they'll be implemented, and Trump thinks that everything is going to go all over the place here in India. But this message should go out to him from an extremely confident country that it's actually going to help us. Because this is going to test how far the Americans can push us. And I have the good news to share with you today that actually it will not affect us at all. And that's why I'm saying bring it on, Trump. As the deadline for the tariffs approaches, we have nothing to be worried about. We are doing absolutely fine. We are prepared. In fact, there's a great opportunity for us. And I want to put out a few clear statistics which the Americans need to understand. First of all, our foreign exchange reserves are almost $700 billion plus. That's a lot of money. So we have a lot of money. We have sufficient cover for almost a year of merchandise imports, which we won't need, but we are totally covered. We are very strong, ladies and gentlemen, extremely strong. Secondly, the experts know, which is why you see that despite the Trump tariffs, the IMF actually upgraded India's forecast to 6.4% growth GDP for both 24 and 26, maintaining our status as the world's fastest growing major economy. Imagine how much Trump is burning at that. The real economy that's dead is the American economy. China is growing only at 4.8%, right? So we have an upward revision after Trump tariffs. That's how strong our economic base is. Fundamentally, only a very minuscule part of our exports are going to be affected. Totally, it is expected, ladies and gentlemen, that 95.2% of total exports are unaffected. Only about 4.8%, totaling about 40 billion, which is still a fraction of the trade with the US is affected, which is a very small number for a big country like India. So we are totally unaffected. The second reason why we need to be very confident in the present situation is that Trump is not going to be in power for too long. The way he's going, let me tell you this, He will not be in power certainly after January 20th, 2029. India will go much stronger by then. But keep in mind there will be midterms in a short while in America. And Trump will become lame duck after that. His popularity ratings once in 60s and 70s around 40%. He is not going to be able to actually retain power after a few months because he's going to lose the midterms. Mark my words, you can keep this video. This man has picked up too many fights all at once, and sooner or later, it's going to haunt him. His own sort of MAGA, Make America Great Again base is going away. And so he is going to be in big trouble, politically in his own country and globally around the world. Everybody thinks that he's overextending himself, he's pressurizing people too much. Now, there is another point that I want to make here. We must also be careful and not give the impression that we are going into the China camp. After all, China has not been our friend, ladies and gentlemen. China has not been our friend during Operation Sindoor, and before that, we know. We have an ongoing conflict with China. We have an unresolved border dispute with China. And as the Prime Minister prepares to go to the SCO summit, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, I would say that while I'm all for working on a Russia, China, India, RIC dynamic, I would say let's be cautious. We must not project an impression of being over-enthusiastic about this group. Yes, we are civilizationally closer to China, and China is to Russia. So there's a civilizational, we are vast and old civilizations, not just modern nation states like the USA. We are ancient civilizational powers with deep-rooted cultural, spiritual, philosophical traditions. We have a shared history, knowledge exchange. We have the Silk Route. And of course, we have an old relationship going on with China. But to the government, I would say, don't have just an economic relationship with China. If the feeling is in some circles in government that we need China, we need Russia, remember China needs us as well. If we are to deepen economic relationships with China, then we must make these relationships linked to strategic assurances. We must negotiate hard. We must have a relationship that is geopolitically in our favor as well. Firstly, it is an alliance in mutual interest. We must avoid going to Beijing with this feeling that, Beijing and India are now going to have a completely new relationship. First, we must have a long-term, overt, covert, or whatever, as transparent as possible, strategic understanding with China, so that they don't do what they did during Operation Sindoor. They don't do anything that compromises our territorial integrity and sovereignty. Any resolution of the boundary dispute must be negotiated. And this is a good time for it, but it must be negotiated without any strategic disadvantage or territorial disadvantage to us. That is most important. And we must also tell the Chinese that if they want to use Pakistan to contain us while extending a hand of cooperation and trade, then we must be clear, we must talk to them and tell them that this is our red line. You can't cross the red line on that. You have to understand our strategic equation and our strategic needs as well. The point I'm trying to make is this, that we must not get into only an economic relationship with China at this point of time, seeing China as a counterweight to America on the tariffs issue. We must not do that. We must establish a mutual relationship, a new one, but it has to be based on our sovereign and strategic interests. This is a good time to do that. That's food for thought. I hope the government is thinking in that direction, because economics cannot be delinked from strategy. Now, as far as Trump, and going back to Trump, viewers, absolutely no need to worry about Trump, because Donald Trump says that the Indian economy is dead, but if actually anything is dead or dying or collapsing, I can tell you confidently this man is going to be out of power sooner than he thinks. His approval ratings, ladies and gentlemen, some polls show 38% approval ratings. He's having to go on Truth Social to argue for himself that no, these approval ratings are false. He's saying that he's going to cancel the licenses of big American networks because they're against him. It shows his inherent insecurity, ladies and gentlemen. 38% approval ratings, which means 62% of people are disapproving of his presidency. This means that his MAGA base is getting eroded. And the other thing that's dead, if there's anything which is, look at his approval ratings. They are beyond embarrassing. Beyond embarrassing. These are all university surveys. He can do nothing about it. But apart from approval ratings, another thing that's dead and dying is the American economy itself. Instead of trying to pressurize us, and I'm not just saying this so that the people of India know how strong we are, 80% increase in layoffs under his administration. The man said he will create jobs. He's destroying jobs. It's absolutely hellish on American streets right now. There are tramps, homeless people, criminals. The national debt has gone up to 37 trillion. I have projected it will cross 40 trillion. That is going to be his contribution. He's going to make America a nation so indebted it cannot walk on its own feet. In fact, the US dollar, he said, I'm going to strengthen the US dollar. The US dollar has performed at its worst levels. Worst levels. Since the 1970s over the first half of the year, value has dropped by 10.8% between January and June this year. So what is the bigger picture? What does this tell you? A person struggling to manage things. He's taken his country to ruin. If you see the visuals today from the United States of America, if you see the lack of municipal facilities, the tons of garbage, the levels of crime, regular shootouts all over America, raging wildfires that the government cannot control, battles between the federal administration and the state government, governors rising up to Donald Trump. And the army on the streets of Washington, D.C., the situation so bad, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like a visual from a Gotham City situation. Trump has ruined the United States of America. You can save this video, you can share it with people, but everything will come true, ladies and gentlemen. What we need to do is not dig our heels in. We need to be clear, we need to be strategic. You've got a person here who's a loose cannon. And he knows that he's trying to divert attention from his crisis at home. And the Americans watching this, I tell you, you've got a dangerous leader who's trying to take attention away from the crisis he's created at home by saying that he's fighting with the world. The fact is, he's using these global battles to divert attention from his problems of governance in the United States of America. At this point of time, far from being a leading power, the United States of America, the way it's going, will be a falling power very soon. Not in economic terms, but in their sheer respect they used to have, and to the levels to which that has been eroded by one man, Donald Trump. So on behalf of all Indians, we say today, and spread this video so it goes across, bring it on, Trump. We're an ancient civilization. Ancient civilization, inherently strong, once 1/3 of the global economy. You can't handle India. This is our moment of opportunity. Bring it on, Trump. This is the best thing you could have done because it brings the country together.
The day has finally arrived. The United States Department of Homeland Security has uploaded a notification of the new 50% tariffs on India, which are all set to kick in the next 24 hours. A key meeting at the PMO by the principal secretaries with officers from Ministries of Commerce and Finance reviewed the situation in India. On the agenda, the Trump tariff impact and possible measures India can implement to safeguard small and medium enterprises. In the last 24 hours, the Prime Minister has dropped big hints against Trump's tariff tirade.
मेरी सरकार लघु उद्यमियों का, किसानों का, पशुपालकों का कभी भी अहित नहीं होने देंगे। दबाव कितना ही क्यों ना आए, हम झेलने की अपनी ताकत बढ़ाते जाएंगे। गर्व से स्वदेशी की तरफ चल पड़ो। जो प्रोडक्शन होगा उसमें महक मेरी देश की मिट्टी की होगी, मेरी भारत मां की होगी। आइए हम सब चल पड़े। 2047 विकसित भारत बना के रहेंगे। दुनिया की भलाई में भारत का योगदान बढ़ाते रहेंगे।
While Trump's tariffs only impact 4.8% of the total exports of India, the impact of the tariff will be notable only in the US markets. And it's not going to be a one-way street. US consumers are also expected to bear the brunt of US tariffs, with the average American household expected to see an additional burden of nearly $2,700, effectively bringing an 18% tariff on Americans, highest since 1993. Meanwhile, the macro picture in India shows a positive revision of India's expected growth rate for this year and the next, with IMF projecting 6.4% growth till the end of financial year 2026-27. Even allies are now beginning to question the tariff policy of America.
Tariffs are obstacles to free trade wherever they are, whether it's on the Indian side, whether it's on the European side, whether it's on the US side. So we would always be in favor of reducing tariffs to a minimum level.
India's allies, meanwhile, are regrouping.
If the Indian goods are facing difficulties entering the US market, the Russian market would welcome Indian imports to the most extent possible.
Skeptics in the opposition are watching with batting eyes.
Well, we are all, the entire country is watching the fallout of very strange, inexplicable foreign policy that we've had. We're waiting and watching. Let's see how the government responds to this. Rhetoric would not suffice, because so far in the last 11 years, all that we've seen in the name of foreign policy is hollow rhetoric.
One thing is clear, India is ready. From forex to gold reserves, we are a rising giant. And the world's fastest growing economy, the nation with 1.4 billion aspirations, today says in one voice, bring it on, Trump.
So we have an internal debate. I would say the outlook is very good for us at this point of time. Introducing well-known faces Gaurav Bhatia, Ajay Bagga, Santosh Mehrotra, Anmol Pawar and Sushant Sareen. Okay, Santosh, I think things are very good, Dr. Mehrotra, right now for us. I think this is going to be a great opportunity because we are also being watched and observed globally. I see the narrative change in most op-eds written globally. People are actually cheering on for India now.
Well, forgive me. Yes, it's true that we are supposed to be the fastest growing large economy in the world, but we are certainly going to be impacted up to about 1% of GDP. It will cause a decline of 0.3%.
I don't think so, 1%.
Because our exports. Sir, may I finish? You've asked me a question. May I say what I needed to say? Thank you. So, we are the fastest growing large economy, that's fine, but let's just remember, let's not, pat ourselves too much on the back, because even though China might be growing only at 4%, the fact of the matter is in the last 5 years alone, China has added a whole India GDP. It went from $14 trillion to $19 trillion at market exchange rate. We are still only $4 trillion. So anyway, bottom line is, we have to be much better prepared, and I think you are absolutely right in saying that both economic strength and defense production strength has to be beefed up in our country. Now, what does that imply? It implies we need to do something that we haven't done so far. We don't have a serious industrial policy, which is the reason why manufacturing as a proportion of GDP has been falling. Manufacturing jobs have been falling, and we have become more dependent on China. We need to reduce our dependence on China. Secondly, yes, we made some improvements on defense production domestically, but we need to do much, much more. We need to do what China managed to do between the year 2000 and 2010. They built up a defense production capacity and a defense production design capacity that unfortunately we haven't managed to do. So we need to work on all of these things. My
debate is, Dr. Mehrotra, let me allow people, please. My debate is about, see, people watching the program, we can use this, some people can use this opportunity to go into a overall critique of how bad Modi's policy.
We are not talking about, we are not talking about that. We are talking about what we are currently lacking, Arnab. And that's the reason why we are in this quandary. We are in a quandary, and I think you have admitted
What
that.
quandary?
And we need to admit
I have
it
not
as a
made
nation.
any such admission.
The fact of the matter
but
is that
I have not made.
we all knew from the very beginning what the United States was capable of. I'm only going to remind you what I said last time on your show on this same subject, that it was Kissinger who reminded us that to be an enemy of the United States is dangerous.
Oh, wow, okay. I'll tell you one thing.
To be a friend of America.
Yeah, I tell you one thing. I tell you one. I tell you.
Be careful.
Yeah, but worse. Listen to me. Listen to me. Now, I'll say something that will upset you, so you don't run away, but listen to it. Listen to it. The person who sold out to America in a craven, obsequious, humiliating way, shameful behavior, was a person called Manmohan Singh. So obliged. Now listen to me, you'll have to hear. You may be his fan, but I'll say what I want. He compromised my country. He went to George W. Bush and he said, George W. Bush, the people of India love you.
What has this got to do
The
with
people of India love you.
We have a crisis.
I am saying there is no crisis. I am saying
No, there is a crisis.
There is no crisis. There is no crisis. There's a crisis in your mind, Professor.
In textiles. No, there is no mind.
There's a crisis in your thoughts. There's a crisis in your pessimism. There's a crisis in your attitudes.
Anyone. You just listen to yourself and you only want to listen to what is favoring you. The fact of the matter is jobs will be lost in leather.
Nothing will happen, yeah. Nothing. The whole world. You are overplaying that. You're overplaying.
In jewelry, there is no. I'm sure Mr. Ajay Bagga is going to.
Okay, so I'll be quiet. Listen to me. There is a. Listen to me. Now,
there's going to be an impact.
Dr. Mehrotra.
There's going to be an impact. You may or may not like it.
Everything is relative.
We have to begin to prepare in a way that we have not been preparing. Okay. That's the foundational point.
Okay, so I'll get Gaurav Bhatia in to give a first response to you, and then Ajay can come in on this. See, it's all half glass, half full. In Delhi, I used to live in Mumbai for many years, Dr. Mehrotra. I moved I'm still not in Delhi, I'm sort of in the national capital region. But this Lutyens mindset I don't like. There's a little circuit here which never sees anything right. They have no solution. There's no solution to everything, but they all have this conspiracy theory. See, we will surpass Germany. We will we will reach 5 trillion by 27. Our forex is at a high.
Jobs, we need 8% per annum growth.
The IMF has revised our forecast. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay, so Gaurav Bhatia for the overall response, and then I will open this up. Gaurav Bhatia, he's saying that things are going to go very bad now. Very bad.
I'm not saying that.
But you're saying we're not doing enough.
Putting words in my mouth. You have to worry about what exactly I said.
Yeah, let me respond. Yeah. So the terms like crisis and a quandary were used. Very respectfully, I would say one thing. Under the leadership of Shri Narendra Modi ji, every decision is taken keeping in mind nation's interest. And Arnab, we must not forget even for a second that today we are the 4th largest economy. As you rightly pointed out, $700 billion of foreign reserve. At the same time, we are the fastest growing economy in the world amongst the major economies. We are growing at 6.4%. US is growing at 1.5%. The question that needs to be asked is that are we self-reliant and resilient enough that if the US that feels MAGA stands for Make America Great Again, but the Americans are saying Make America Grown Again. So even Trump needs to realize that US today needs India more than India needs US. And the reason is very simple. We have also diversified our interest. We have new partners. And Narendra Modi ji is the kind of leader who doesn't budge under pressure. But in adversity, he finds an opportunity. And that is why all the addresses that he has made to the nation over the past few weeks, he has been talking about an Atmanirbhar Bharat. And we are in a position to take on the US if it tries to dictate a policy which is not in our national interest. Second, Arnab, we must also not forget, we have alliances in BRICS. Now, somewhere, US is disturbed by the new alliances that we are forging. And it is also known to us, US tried to tell India that don't buy crude oil from Russia, whereas it was in our interest. We did so. The US said don't buy S-400, which became the lifeline during Operation Sindoor from Russia. We did that, and that is what a sovereign, strong nation like India is expected to do. So therefore, I would just dismiss what has been said by the earlier speaker. Yes, there would be challenges, but India's might and resolve is firm, and we would definitely overcome these challenges.
Okay, so there's a situation we are in, and there are better experts than me, and there are challenges. Only the question is, my bet is on where we will land. I would like Sushant to come in, Ajay to come in, and then I'll, of course, get Anmol into the debate as well. I'm not saying there is no impact. I'm saying here there is going to be much less impact than there has been hyped up to be. After all, our retail inflation has eased to an 8-year low. So the atmosphere is good. We are not in a crisis which will be precipitated. In fact, Prime Minister saying, I'm going to further rationalize the tax regime. I want to increase domestic consumption. I'm going to have a direct impact on household savings. This is also a plan. It's part of the plan, right? I only began by saying we need to be a little wary about China, how far we go with China, how much we can depend on them. I feel we should have a strategic and not just economic understanding with them. But I'd like everyone's views. So Ajay first and then Sushant on this. Strategically, how are we likely to move ahead? Ajay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no, I will make very sharp, very 4 points and then cede the ground to Sushant, sir. He's much more, knowledgeable than me. I agree with Professor Mehrotra that there will be an impact. What I am really, Arnab, I would like to highlight to you, all these economists sitting in US tenured jobs in the US universities, nobody has written out any critique of Trump, despite being of Indian origin. The same guys who keep on lambasting this government.
Yeah.
So I have done shows with you with Professor Mehrotra, and we have both defended India. So I have deep respect for him, for his knowledge and for his patriotism. But I am saying, where are the Arvind Subramanians? Where are the Kaushik Basus? Where are the Raghuram Rajans? Who is preaching to us? At least Professor Mehrotra is standing with us shoulder to shoulder. Second point, Arnab, I'll say, where are we today? $4 trillion India today is US of 1985, Japan of 1993, China of 2007, Germany of 2021. The big lesson we have to take is from Japan of 1993. Because of all the Plaza Accords, everything, Japan has had 3 missed decades. We must ensure India is in a different situation demographically, all that. We will not happen, but it has happened in the world where somebody stood at 4 and stayed at 4. Nobody is going to give us a free lunch. We will have to fight for every inch. That brings me to Gaurav's point on the political leadership. Very critical to infuse the population with this feeling of Indianness, of that pride, and that we are on a mission mode to keep on doubling this economy every 7-8 years. That's the third point. Fourth point I'll make, I think Trump is a benefit to us because he has really shaken us of the stupor and these old relations. I'm saying, Arnab, there are models of Taiwan investing in China, China investing in Taiwan, even though China wants to gobble up Taiwan. Vietnam and China have had a war, Arnab. South China Sea, they both fight regularly. China is the biggest investor in Vietnam, $130 billion. Vietnam is exporting to the US. Most of that is Chinese goods. So we have to open up to investments, knowing fully well China is not a long-term friend of ours, but in strategic sense, open up the investment to China. And the fifth small point, deregulate. I think this is a great, don't miss the convert a crisis into an opportunity. The GST cuts will really give a boost. We will make that 0.4, 0.5 GDP loss through the domestic consumption. It will come with the GST cuts. It's coming bang in the middle of the festival season. It will help a lot.
It will help the mood. It will certainly help the mood. Yeah, it'll be.
And Arnab,
yes,
Arnab, there are four pillars to any economy. Exports are slowing. We know that. Government capex is going very strong. That is good. Private capex is lagging because you're not utilizing your factories. You have 75% capacity utilization. Obviously, new factories will not come. Fourth pillar becomes personal consumption, which you are going to unshackle with these GST cuts. So I think the IMFs and all, they're always wrong, Arnab. They're always late and they're always wrong. We will see a better than this because of the GST cuts, because of the deregulation and the targeted subsidies that the government...
A question here. You mentioned exports. But, you know, you know economics better, but it's also on the back of a very good high base, you know, because our exports reached 6+% growth in the last financial year. So everything looks like it's coming down. So it's all relative. But having said that, do you believe that our petroleum or fuel exports, when we take Russian crude and export it back through our refinery ecosystem, is also going to come down? Or will the Europeans keep buying that? Or the rest of the world keep buying that?
They have no choice, Arnab.
They have no choice.
103 million barrels a day is produced. The Russians produce 9.5. If the Russian supply goes off the market, crude will go to $200.
Very big
from
point.
$60. Everybody knows that.
So nothing
Even
will
Trump
change. You see, then Trump can do whatever. But
it's
the real,
not going to
but this fuel funnel will not stop. Okay, Sushant, as the geopolitical expert on the panel, I would like your views on the talk about Russia, India, China on the eve of the Prime Minister going to the SCO, and your thoughts on what I said earlier, that it probably has to be a strategic understanding as well. Is it possible to achieve that in a short time?
Arnab, allow a couple of things before I come to your basic question. One, today is one of those few occasions on which I've heard three people on the panel and I agree with each one of them. Maybe I will not hype things up to the point our friend Mr. Bhatia has done. You know, but I suppose he comes from a political background, so he's going to hype it up. And I would imagine that what Mr. Bagga and Professor Mehrotra have said, I cannot disagree with them on anything. Look, here is the thing. Are we going to face an existential crisis? Absolutely not. Are we going to face a crisis? Yes. But it's a crisis we can tide over. And I think both the gentlemen, Mr. Mehrotra, Professor Mehrotra and Mr. Bagga have given some very valuable suggestions. So I think we can tide this over. But there will be some hurt. There will be certain sectors which will be hurt, and these are labor-intensive sectors. And I'm sure the government is mindful of how to try and take care of it. But just taking care of it is not going to be good enough. I think we need to do a lot more. Now, some of the taxation reforms which have come are good. But I personally think, again, we need to get rid of this goddamn socialistic baggage that we have. You've done a very good reform by saying, okay, we are going to reduce GST rates to 2 rates. And then you say, okay, but, you know, there is pan masala or something, some stupid thing, you will say 40%. Just keep it simple, stupid. Just keep it simple. Okay? One is that. The second is, I think Mr. Bagga spoke about it, and I cannot talk about it more. You have to change your regulatory and your legal and your administrative reforms have to be brought in. The kind of stifling Inspector Raj there is disincentivizes any manufacturing. Anybody who manufactures in this country deserves a Bharat Ratna, if you ask me.
Even now you're saying that, Sushant. Even now.
Really? Okay, so you need to reform that, and I don't think enough has been done in that direction. I really think we need to work double fast on it. Then the third problem, and out here, I'm in a quandary now.
Okay.
You have set up 2 committees to propose reforms. Who are the people who are going to be heading these committees? IAS officers. God bless you if you can get those reforms in. Seriously. Because for every reform they will bring in, they will put in 5 adangis in between that nothing will happen. We've seen this over the period of time. So please bring in proper people if you really are serious about reforms. Yes, the IAS officers will be good in implementing them, but if they are going to be making policy, heavens help this country. Now to come to your basic point, which you were asking me about geopolitics. Look, maybe I'm being a little optimistic on this, but the way I am looking at it is that, look, we are not in the crosshairs of America because we are buying Russian oil. That's an excuse. Okay? Let's be very clear about it. There is a body of opinion in the United States, especially among these mad MAGA characters, who believe, incidentally, let me just add something to what Mr. Bagga said, because that has been riling me no end. All these buggers who pontificate to us sitting in the US, now that they are scared that their green cards might be taken away.
All quiet.
All these fellows are keeping quiet.
Completely.
These Ashutosh, these Kaushik Basus, you name these characters, these third-rate fellows, they're all quiet. Not one op-ed article, not one article saying that what Trump is doing goes against all canons of economics. Professor Mehrotra is a distinguished economist. He will tell you that it doesn't make economic sense what Trump is trying to do. Right? But all these guys who pontificate to us are keeping quiet.
But let's not give them too much importance, Sushant. I mean, we shouldn't...
I don't give them any importance. You people give them importance. I don't give
what
them any
you
importance.
people, yeah, Sushant, you blame me for everything nowadays, huh?
I blame you for everything. We go back a long way, so
it's okay.
Arnab, here is the thing. Look, geopolitically, for the Chinese also, this is a point of inflection. Trump is not going to be attacking them right now. They are in his crosshairs, right? Now, the choice before the Chinese is that either there is a G2 kind of a setting, in which case Trump is getting out of Asia and he is letting China be the Gunda of the region, or he is going to target them next. Now, the principal contradiction for the Chinese now is no longer India as an emerging player in the region, somebody who can challenge their hegemony. It is the United States. What makes sense for the Chinese is to try and settle some of the more troubling issues between us. Will they rise up to the occasion? I don't know. But I think this is an opportunity for both India as well as China to settle some of those issues. Will that settle everything between us? Far from it. Okay. That will not happen. There will remain problems between us.
Sushant, on that point...
Add one thing.
Okay.
Listen, BRICS is not a replacement for the current global economic system. It just doesn't stack up to that level. It might somewhere down the line, maybe 10 years from now, but today it doesn't. And you have to be realistic about what you can expect from BRICS and what you cannot expect from BRICS. So I think there needs to be a certain degree of realism when we go in it. We should not be despondent. We should not feel disheartened. This is, like my other colleagues have said on this show, this is the time that you really need to bring in those second or third stage of reform, which we have not brought in. And if Trump has woken us up from our slumber, thank him for it.
Okay, now...
But let him wake up from our slumber and do the necessary reforms that we have neglected for so long. And under one pretext or another, if this government can't do it, no government can do it. And let me tell you one last point. In 1990-91, you had a minority government which had all the, whatever could go wrong. There was Kashmir happening, Punjab was in flames, there was communal rioting taking place, the economy was bankrupt, and it was a minority government. That government brought in the reforms that put us on a growth path.
Yeah.
Today, again, have an opportunity.
Yeah.
Can you rise to the occasion or can you not?
I think so.
Principal issue before us today.
I think very balanced perspective put out here. I will let Anmol also come in and then let Gaurav respond to all. We're having very comprehensive responses. 3 points that Sushant has made, just to summarize so that when you come in on your response, Gaurav, you can respond to it. He has said you need to deregulate, you need to get your animal spirits going, you need to move things fast. That is the only way to strengthen yourself. He has also said, Sushant said here, Gaurav, that don't depend on your bureaucracy to push it. He's indicating that the Modi government is hostage to the bureaucracy, and if that was to be lessened, then the government would do even better. He's making that point. Last point, I didn't get a clear answer from Sushant on what he thought of China, but you know, the question will emerge. You're part of SCO, you're going to do puppy jappi and all that with all the Russia, China, all the other countries. However, what will happen with Quad? Are you going to be a member of the Quad, an active member? We sideline G20, G7. What is going to happen to that? Anmol, you can take this forward and then we'll get Gaurav to respond.
Listen.
Yeah, Sushant. I didn't misquote you anywhere, my friend. I didn't misquote you anywhere.
On the G7 thing, Arnab.
Yeah.
You remember Macron's tweet after speaking to the Prime Minister?
I think...
He says India as the president of BRICS and France as the president of G7, we will now work together.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
I saw that very interestingly. I also saw the Ukrainian president's tweet this morning and the levels of engagement with Ukraine. And I think the Modi government is doing fantastic things there on that front with multilateral engagement. Only question mark still in my mind remains about China. Anmol, your thoughts to take this forward.
Arnabji, this puppy jappi which you referred to, these photo ops and these howdy Modi and my friend Donald Trump, all this have not yielded any result. We have seen that Prime Minister Narendra Modi used to say that Donald Trump is my best friend, he's my closest friend. And yet now he is scared to take even his name. Donald Trump has not once, not twice, not thrice, but 50 times he has said that he was the one who pressurized India and Pakistan to mediate after the Pahalgam incident. And not once has our Prime Minister denied this claim. And you said that Indian economy will not be affected. At the top of this, we are suffering this humiliation of 50% tariffs.
Why is it a humiliation? I want to understand
in
this.
2024,
No, why is it a humiliation for us? Sorry, but why? What certification do you want from America? Why do you use the word humiliation? How are we humiliated?
No,
how do you feel humiliated that Trump has put 50%? Just explain yourself.
We are not seeking. We are not seeking any certification from US, but as an Indian, as an Aam Aadmi,
you feel humiliated that Trump put tariff?
I expect my Prime Minister. I expect my Prime Minister to say to Trump unequivocally कि भाई साहब आपने नहीं किया था हमारे इंडिया और पाकिस्तान के बीच में ceasefire. But he has not once, not even during the parliament session, he said that there was no role of Donald Trump in this mediation after the Pahalgam incident. क्यों नहीं कहा? नाम लेने से जो डर रहे हैं वो क्या ही करेंगे? I mean, it's like Trump dictates, Modi obeys, and Indians suffer. That's the harsh reality. And I'm giving you some facts. In 2024-25, Indian exported goods worth $86.5 billion. 55% of our exports to the US could be hit. That is around $30 to $35 billion of exports are at risk. The most affected sectors will be textiles and gems, wherein more than 5 to 7 billion jobs will get wiped out. Pharmaceuticals, we supply 50% of US generic medicines. And the latest I'll tell you, Federation of Indian Export Organization has recently asked the central government to intervene. They are saying that orders in the textile sector are started getting cancelled and bringing production to a halt. That's the reality, Arnabji. Shrimp exports, steel and aluminium, electronics, everything will get affected.
Can I respond?
मोदी जी को इतनी तो हिम्मत करनी चाहिए ना कि भाई साहब उन्हें उन्हीं की जबान में जवाब दें. हम तो यही मांग कर रहे हैं.
You want Narendra Modi to get up every morning.
To ask for?
You want Narendra Modi to get up every morning, open a Twitter handle, and start doing foreign policy on Twitter. Gaurav Bhatia is responding. Gaurav, lines are being opened in 2 minutes. Gaurav.
Yeah. Let me first take care of the cheap and dirty politics that is being done on such a serious issue. Pappi jhappi se kya hua bola ja raha tha. So I will only say that when relations were very good with the US, we got Apache and Chinook from the US. I think the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson is probably not aware of that. But let me say it very clearly, the opposition, especially Rahul Gandhi, and Arvind Kejriwal are very confused. Arnab, you remember, they were making this charge that Trump has now said that if you want trade with us, then stop Operation Sindoor. And they started blaming Modi ji. Now, we all know that tariffs have been imposed. That means Narendra Modi ji was not affected by any, pressure that was built on him. Next, we must also remember, it was just alleged that Narendra Modi ji jawab nahi dete hain. Do you remember his speech in the parliament? Narendra Modi ji made it very clear that the vice president of the US, Vance, called him and he said Pakistan will retaliate. And Narendra Modi ji ne jawab diya, goli ka jawab hum gole se denge. What else is making a strong statement? India will not tolerate any interference, and it has been clarified by the External Affairs Ministry as well as the armed forces of the country that the pause that has been taken because Pakistan was afraid and it called the DGMO of India. But it seems that Aam Aadmi Party has become completely anti-national. Now let me come to the main point. India engages from a position of strength, and we are resilient enough to even take the effect of this tariff. But when we make a calibrated move, we have to see we don't make any knee-jerk reactions. So Arnab, I looked into the past. During the first term also, Donald Trump had invoked tariff 25% on steel and 10% on aluminium. And India also started imposing tariffs. And later, US withdrew and things became better. So this is an example how you have to retaliate, but it should be nuanced. It has to be calibrated. Second, Modi ji's diplomacy has been seen by everyone, and it is a very positive way of dealing with people. You remember Maldives? When President Moezu, he was campaigning, he had a campaign, India Out campaign. But it changed in 2 years' time. And now PM Modi ji was invited as the guest of honor during the 60th Independence Day. So things change in diplomacy. Relationships change. But India today, under the leadership of Shri Narendra Modi ji, is a nation that is independent. And we have an opportunity to even take forward our Atmanirbhar campaign.
And the fact is, to put it simply,
Donald Trump. One more point, Arnab, if you allow me.
Please.
Donald Trump today is making a fool out of himself. He has isolated US. India has found new friends and partners. And I must tell you, on Pakistan, so far US has seen our friendship. Now they will see a less friendly India. They have decided to choose Pakistan. And same Donald Trump said that Pakistan provides safe havens to terrorists. So is Donald Trump now approving a nation?
I would say this, that even, and I'm opening up to calls now in the last 5 minutes. Even Narendra Modi's worst critics would know that he doesn't give in. I'll give one example. How much pressure Joe Biden administration gave. He threatened sanctions under CATSA norms and said you can't take the S-400. We took the S-400, right? And look how the S-400 defense system helped her during Operation Sindoor. Nobody will say that it's Narendra Modi's intervention which actually helped that. Sushant, I see your hand go up. I'm going to come right to you, but Srinivasan is calling from Chennai. Srinivasan.
Hey, Arnab, I'm calling from Chennai. Hello, Arnab?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Arnab, it's really an honor to speaking with you. This is the first time after 35 times I got it.
Thank you, sir. Sorry for making you wait.
Not at all, Arnab. Arnab, my one observation so far, right from the Pahalgam thing, the opposition is not behaving like an opposition. It was more childish, They are asking how many planes you have lost. Is that the root cause of the problem we are going to address? Is the opposition, are they more interested in seeing how many flights we have lost? Is that the crux of the matter they are looking at? And then the next time they are talking about, they were saying he was close to Trump, and now what happened to Howdy Trump? And all these things I see, they are not addressing the fundamental issues that we are facing. Rather, they want to address and hit a person, on a person like Modi, they want to hit and say that he is failing, they want to say. It's not Modi is failing, it's the government, it's the Indian people who will be suffering. Why the opposition is not...
Srinivasanji, I feel this is a great opportunity of coming together. Please remember during COVID what happened? All doomsday scenarios, Anmol. India will collapse, Modi will ruin India. Look how we came up stronger. So these doomsday scenarios we must not listen to. Aditya Khanna is calling from Kolkata. Aditya.
Good evening, Arnab, and good evening to all the panelists.
Good evening.
I want to second and completely endorse what Gaurav Bhatiaji just summed it beautifully. And adding to that, I would want to say that this is a very sorry state of affairs in our country. That at this juncture, when we all need to unite, when we all need to put up a united front in front of the world.
Yes.
We see our opposition cherry-picking and talking about things which are least relevant. Things like, whether Modi ji has named Donald Trump or not.
Yeah, that's very childish. I agree, Aditya. Sushant, you want to add to that? I agree with this. I mean, I think the level of the debate is sometimes very unfortunate. Sushant.
I have 4 quick points. One, on this whole opposition thing. Look, I don't think at this point in time, if you're going to be distracted by all the noise which is made, you lose the plot. So what
I don't think the government will be. Yeah.
Trying to do was basically we were having a nice, serious discussion and he went from the sublime to the ridiculous. I'm not surprised Aam Aadmi Party doing it. But there were 3 points which I wanted to make. One, my only grouse with the government on Pakistan is, and which none of these guys will answer. I can bet you that Gaurav Bhatia will not give you a proper answer.
Gaurav, come on.
Why are we playing cricket with Pakistan?
Why are we playing cricket with Pakistan, Gaurav?
But let him come later. Let me make 2 more quick points. Second, I think Gaurav also needs to add to the all the other things. When he talks about J.D. Vance, today there's a report in a German newspaper that even Trump was trying to talk to the Prime Minister. He tried 4 times and the Prime Minister refused to talk to him because of obvious reasons. And the most important point I want to make, which I was making earlier, about the bureaucracy. Professor Mehrotra was talking about we really need to build up our defense infrastructure. We need to build up defense production, needs to go into the next level. There are horror stories I'm hearing of how the bureaucracy is treating some of these young entrepreneurs who are doing cutting edge work of the sorts that the Americans are trying to buy it from them. These guys are trying to do it out here, and then you have financial advisors.
Gaurav, you want to respond to him? Gaurav, okay, because I'm running short of time, I need a response. And I have 2 callers also. Gaurav, quickly respond. We've got Anil Chibbar from Gurugram waiting then, after that. So just briefly, Gaurav.
Yeah. No, very important point made by Sushantji. And I also read about the German newspaper reporting that Donald Trump tried to reach out to Narendra Modi ji on 4 occasions, and Narendra Modi ji has decided not to respond. But I am not sure of the veracity, so I am not going to invoke that. But Sushantji, I'll try my best as spokesperson of the BJP to answer the question you asked me. I would make it very clear that in the last 11 years, India has never played a bilateral tournament with Pakistan.
Yeah, but you are playing Pakistan. It's going to hurt people, Gaurav. It's going to hurt people.
I'm responding.
It's going to hurt me. It's going to hurt people. We can stop it. It's bad.
Let me complete.
It's bad.
Let me complete.
Anyway, sponsors of BCCI don't do well nowadays.
Let me complete. Please let me.
It's very bad.
Please let me complete.
Yeah, you can complete.
Let me complete. Arnab, I insist. Please.
It's very unfortunate.
Because Sushantji is a dear friend and he said none of the BJP spokespersons answer this question. So I am endeavoring to answer the question. So Sushantji, you are well aware that cricket is also now going to be included in the Olympic Games of list.
No.
Please understand, when it is an international tournament like the Olympics, if we decide to not play with a country, it would have ramifications and serious ones.
Okay, I take that. Gaurav, I have to take 3 callers, my friend. I took your point. I'm not getting into a debate on that. Anil Chibbar has been waiting from Gurugram, and then P. Chaudhary from Jabalpur. Mr. Chibbar.
Good evening, sir. Pleasure, get on your show. And to all the panelists also out there. The only thing which I would like to share is Churchill once remarked that Americans will always do the right thing after they have tried everything else. So I think so we should even after the SCO summit and how things shape up, we should see how policies changes from
We
their
should keep a
side.
line open with them. Yeah, good point, Anil. Good point, Anil. I have to go to P. Chaudhary from Jabalpur, Anil. So please forgive me. Mr. Chaudhary.
Yeah. Good evening, Arnab. And it is a very great opportunity we are getting once they have ruled out the cryogenic engine. So this is a time when we are making our Make in India stronger, number one. Second thing, we should emphasize on space technology after Mr. Sudhanshu Shukla's successful visit. That is another sector we should open. Third, climate change.
Sir, Mr. Chaudhary, Ashok from Delhi NCR, last word. Very briefly, Ashok.
I just want to thank you, Arnab, for taking me in. I want to, address my question to Gaurav Bhatia, who keep on pontificating here, and they don't see any bureaucracy. If you go to the customs house in Delhi, for clearing small things every day, we are running an export-oriented unit. We import a lot of things.
Yeah.
For every import, we have to pay
Too much
something.
bureaucracy. Yeah. I think he heard you there. He won't have time to respond.
What people pay every day there. I mean, these are small issues. Why can't you run a small
So it's good, Ashok, you said that. Good. I think Ajay, Gaurav should keep an open ear on things. One line from you, Ajay, before I wrap up. One line from you, Mr. Bagga.
Yes, Arnab, it's an opportunity. We have to grab the opportunity. It's ours to, is how I look at it.
Right.
And Trump not going to make a difference. He will go away. It will be a footnote in history, but India will go on.
Well, I agree with you and I wish the same. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is an unusual opportunity, but a gigantic one. Bring it on, Trump. See you tomorrow evening. Good night and goodbye.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने, सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाइ क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाइ क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला।
What makes you a legend? Maybe that you're followed by everyone. Maybe that you follow no one. Maybe both. 10 years of Creta, legend forever.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने, सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा।
जब मुंबई से वापस कोल्हापुर शिफ्ट हुआ तो सबने कहा कि ड्रीम सिटी को छोड़ रहा है। ड्रीम सिटी, मैंने कहा ड्रीम में तो यही गलियां आती। तो जब ये रियलाइज हुआ कि कुछ बड़ा करने के लिए बड़े शहर में रहने की जरूरत नहीं, तब लगा कि लाइफ में ग्रो किया।
SIP करो, इन्वेस्ट करो, लाइफ में ग्रो करो।
प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
QS&THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky, and this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा
राजा और मसाला।
Sarah, this is your space, slay it your way.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
But we stopped a lot of wars, including, you think about it, India and Pakistan.
We're starting with a political face-off tonight, which follows the Enforcement Directorate getting active again and searching 13 locations linked to AAP leader Saurabh Bharadwaj in a money laundering investigation. They are saying there's corruption in 5,590 crore rupees worth hospital projects sanctioned by the former Delhi government when he was a minister. Ladies and gentlemen, there were multiple raids this morning, and it's a huge fight here in the national capital.
ED officers reaching the residence of Aam Aadmi Party leader Saurabh Bharadwaj. They are now investigating a massive rupees 5,590 crore hospital construction scam.
We are here outside AAP leader Saurabh Bharadwaj residence, and this morning ED officials have conducted a search at 13 locations, including his official residence, in relation to the allegations of money laundering, which is related to the hospital project.
At least 13 locations related to former Health Minister Saurabh Bharadwaj were searched across the national capital.
आम आदमी पार्टी के पूर्व स्वास्थ्य मंत्री, दिल्ली के अध्यक्ष उनके सौरभ भारद्वाज, आज उनके यहाँ जांच एजेंसी ने छापा मारा है। और छापा भी वही जो चोरी, जो भ्रष्टाचार उन्होंने अस्पताल बनाने में किया, दवाई और उपकरण खरीदने में किया, जिसकी शिकायत भारतीय जनता पार्टी लगातार करती आ रही थी। और हमारा ये मानना है कि सौरभ भारद्वाज हो, अरविंद केजरीवाल हो, मनीष सिसोदिया हो या सत्येंद्र जैन हो, ये सब वो भ्रष्टाचारी हैं जिन्होंने भ्रष्टाचार की गंगा में खूब गोते लगाए हैं।
But the Aam Aadmi Party won't change its script. They call it vendetta.
ध्यान भटकाने के लिए, प्रधानमंत्री जी की डिग्री के मसले से ध्यान भटकाने के लिए सौरभ भारद्वाज जी के घर पर रेड की जा रही है ईडी की। और मजाक है, बच्चा भी हंसेगा इस बात को सुन के कि सौरभ भारद्वाज के घर जिस केस में रेड हो रही है वो उसके मंत्री बनने से पहले का केस बताया जा रहा है।
सौरभ भारद्वाज पे जो मामला बनाया गया है वो पूरी तरीके से निराधार, झूठा और बेबुनियाद। आम आदमी पार्टी के नेताओं पे लगातार झूठे केस बना बना के उनको जेल में डालना भारतीय जनता पार्टी, मोदी सरकार की एक नीति बन गई है।
Saurabh Bharadwaj's colleague in Aam Aadmi Party, former Health Minister Satyendra Jain, is also under the scanner. He has already been jailed in the past in another scam. The ED is investigating the possible systematic manipulation of project budgets, misuse of public funds, and collusion with private contractors. Will Team Kejriwal cooperate?
Okay, it's a straight face-off here tonight between Sanchu Verma and Priyanka Kakkar. Rules for this conversation today: we won't speak over each other. We'll be absolutely disciplined. We'll maintain the rules. We'll have no personal attacks on each other. Both the participants will stay with me till the end of the program, and neither of them will walk out. So, having said that, Priyanka Kakkar, see, let's get this persecution vendetta thing out of the way and come to the basics, because then we'll waste the entire time we have on, vendetta. Let's go to the real issues. None of the 24 hospital projects worth 5,590 crore which was sanctioned are fully completed even today. 1,125 crore ICU hospital project promised 6,800 new ICU beds. Huge spending happened, not even half is complete. So, the nation wants to know where the money went. Must have gone somewhere, if not into the beds or the hospitals, into someone's pocket perhaps.